Hey everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Analysts have released their ratings right after Palantir's earnings, and I was completely shocked honestly by one of them. Now, the shocking one to me was Jefferies analysts upgrading their sell or underperform rating to a hold, but raising his price target by 70% from $13 all the way to $22. Now, I'm pretty sure even if the government growth, which has been cited as abysmal, dissuaded many analysts, those commercial numbers couldn't necessarily be ignored, as well as the possible turning point in their customer account acceleration. So I still take any analyst position with a grain of salt, but this is just interesting to see such a huge night and day change in my opinion. So we'll continue to monitor for other analysts, especially if anyone flips their previous positioning on the company. Now, with earnings still fresh, I also wanted to go over Alex Karp's CEO letter because it gets to the head of management and their focus on what narrative they're trying to paint, although we could already piece this together too during the earnings call as well as through the highlights. So he starts off with the big headline here. They generated a big quarterly revenue number, and remember the $608 million is above the $603 million top that they provided for guidance last time, but notes this is a significant reacceleration of growth for the company in their eyes, especially as we've seen the downtrends previously. Now, Karp and management believes this is a reflection of their product-centric quality, as well as the surge in demand for artificial intelligence platforms, which Palantir has been positioned well and one of the fastest first movers to when they came out with AIP last year before basically anyone had anything. And with this growth in revenue per year, do note it was only 17% from prior year from 2022 to 2023, just so you know. But taking a longer term perspective since 2019, they've almost 3x their top line number here. Now, it's no secret the big driver for this quarter and probably for the future is US commercial right now. And he touts that big 70% year over year growth for US commercial revenue for the quarter. And for 2024, they are expecting US commercial revenue to exceed $640 million, which is a 40% growth rate. And they believe in these numbers due to the large demand from commercial institutions, specifically from the United States. We're getting a working product from a prototype is the name of the game, and being able to showcase the value to customers, which in turn leads to revenue for the company. And just taking a longer term look here from 2019, they've almost 10x this business segment to really showcase this transition from government dependence to a huge focus on commercial and having that be more symbiotic. Now, crucially to this pickup in commercial is also how fast they can get customers set up. It took weeks and months before, but now AIP can be up and running in a few hours, meaning results for customers can be seen in days, which that much more brings value to the customer much sooner, bringing the contracting process that much closer to closing quickly. And this shows too with their go-to-market strategy to satisfy the demands, they need to get to the customers working with the product. They've conducted fewer than 100 commercial pilots the previous year in 2022, but with AIP, they did over 500 boot camps, and this is in addition to 130 pilots that they did all in 2023. So they are working with customers at more than 6 times the rate here than before, and they believe this is how AIP will become the dominant platform for the entire industry. And not only in growing the top line and funnel of customers, of course, but also what comes out at the other end to ensure clients know they'll be around for Palantir. Efficiency has increased, and 2023 is the first full year of GAAP profitability. And looking at it quarterly as well, this is growing rapidly as they streamline their operations to be focused on bringing in customers while being responsible stewards with expenses, because this ultimately leads to their S&P inclusion, as well as being reputable to customers that they'll be around. And continuing with that narrative, Karp does bring up their cash flow and notes for 2024. They see a fat chunk of $800 million to $1 billion in adjusted free cash flow for the year. And with their massive cash pile already today, it'll show businesses that they can survive and thrive in any type of macro environment, since this safety net still exists and is really massive. And Karp concludes the letter, so it is a similar to the main highlights of earnings if you've read through it, but getting that extra context from management in these letters is always helpful and shows that profitability is the main priority, as well as US commercial growth. They of course acknowledge the lacklusterness of government by just omitting it here, honestly, but being able to have the flexibility with their pristine balance sheet and cash position, they'll be around to compete and take market share here for artificial intelligence, especially with the scaling of their AIP boot camps. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.